First tonight, to the high cost of childcare. It's an issue that affects so many, especially during the summer holidays. Parents in London face the most expensive childcare costs in the country. It's estimated that over the summer, people in the capital are paying an average of nearly £180 a week for summer camps for older children. That's 25% more than parents living in the east of England. Alpa Patel has been speaking to families struggling to cope.
This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm my right song.
For many parents, this song may feel like the soundtrack of their lives because finding affordable childcare is a headache. And in the summer, that headache feels more like a migraine.
Well, school-aged children now need somewhere to go. Cue holiday clubs like this one here in Edgware. But unsurprisingly, demand is high.
Some days of our provision are already booked up. We're seeing parents who are particularly this year really struggling even with the £10 a day, and we're having to subsidise more and more places. I think it's incredibly urgent. Childcare, particularly over the summer, is right at the sharp end of the cost of living crisis, because if children are at home, parents often can't go out to work.
This space is supported by local authority money and also government cash from what's called the Holiday and Activity Food Programme. It offers free places for children from low-income families, which the government say is part of the single biggest ever investment in childcare. But we've spoken to many families who aren't eligible. So what happens when you cannot find reliable, affordable childcare?
Essentially, I had to give up work because I was going into debt to look after my children.
Jane is a mother of 3 girls in Uxbridge and also works as a PR.
So I get up, make sure they've all had breakfast, and then I start work in my study. They basically have to look after themselves. They do come in and ask for things, but of course then that interrupts your flow of thought. If you've got clients on the phone or if you're in a meeting, you can't go to the office because where would they all have gone? Where would those 3 children aged 8, 12 and 13 have gone for the day? But also the cost is prohibitive.
And then there's Antoinette, a single mother. She's a freelance parenting consultant who is on universal credit.
Summers are extremely difficult. So I have 2 children. So one is 4 and one is 17. My son, who's 17, has autism and learning difficulties, and often enough finding a child place for him is not that easy because of his special needs.
So what happens when you can't find childcare and you need to work?
I don't work. I'm home with my children. I love my children. I'm not saying that I don't, but I'm unable to work unless I have a family member or, you know, really good family friends that can step in and help.
The charity Quorum says that government money has helped some parents this summer, but is not nearly enough.
So this is a really urgent situation. We know that right now parents are making those difficult choices about whether they can afford and manage to stay and work. We don't want to lose these skills from the workforce, so we need a system that works for children, for parents and for employers as well.
And I don't really care if nobody else believes.
With the cost of childcare increasing year on year, in a cost of living crisis, this summer feels especially tough for parents. Alpa Patel, BBC London.
Well, Alpa is here with me now. Alpa, obviously the high cost of childcare is an issue throughout the year, not just during the summer holidays.
Yes, we've reported on this issue quite regularly, haven't we? And it's fair to say it is reaching crisis levels. We know that London is the most expensive place anywhere in the country for childcare costs, in a country that's the 3rd most expensive in the world, according to the OECD. Now, the government says it is making the biggest ever investment into childcare. So from September 2025, children from 9 months to 5 years old will get 30 hours of so-called free childcare. But today, the Education Committee said those plans were in jeopardy. They said unless more money is invested invested in addressing the rising costs of running provisions like nurseries, stagnant funding and also a massive recruitment crisis, these plans simply can't go ahead. And now for many parents, that help feels too far away anyway. You were listening to those parents in my report. And if parents cannot work because they can't find affordable childcare, then that's not good for the economy. Finally, campaigners say this is not just about babysitting. It is really important, they say, to provide safe, fun and stimulating places for our young people to go to thrive. This is not just about getting parents into work, it's about the well-being of our children.
Absolutely. Alpa Patel, thank you so much for that.